Hello, you're watching World Talks on TVP World. My name is Sascha Fahrbach. We're seeing parallel tracks of diplomacy unfold. Ukraine peace talks in the Middle East, renewed U.S. Russia military contacts, and high-level negotiations between American and Iranian officials in Oman. Now, progress is being hinted at, but not promised. All the while, Ukrainians continue to pay the price on the ground with recent Russian attacks. Our guest is Yulia Sirko, a member of parliament in Ukraine from the Voice Party. Good to have you on TVP World. Welcome.
Hello from Kyiv.
I want to begin with the Middle East, specifically Abu Dhabi. We're hearing the official line that this is being called as productive, but yet Russian strikes continue after the meetings and before the meetings. So what, in your sense, is the political realities, and what does all this mean from the second day in Abu Dhabi?
First of all, I think, yes, it's productive, but it's productive on a technical level, I would say. There is still no political will from Russian side to stop the war, which we can observe and see every day, living in Kyiv and in Ukraine, with kids sitting now in a bomb shelter because there's air alarm, and without electricity because the energy system almost destroyed by Russians. So I think these negotiations probably should continue, but we shouldn't expect the political outcome or political will from these negotiations, because it's more on tactical level. Thanks to yesterday negotiations, we have exchange of prisoners of war. 157 Ukrainian soldiers and prisoners of war returned home. But that's it. At this point of time, we don't see any progress from Russia's side to stop the war and to talk about peace realistically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, on that prisoner exchange, I wanted to go in on that. I mean, as I said, this is between both Russia and Ukraine. As you mentioned, 157 Ukrainians, also Russians. I think in total 314 in total between both sides. Now, is this,
yes.
I mean, this is not the first exchange. It's the first one in some time. But is this genuinely, let's say, going in the right direction, or is this just the lowest risk, as you said, technical element that can be done between the both sides?
I think it's not a major break in the negotiations, because we previously had a lot of round of exchanges, live prisoners of war as well as dead bodies. I would say this should continue on an everyday basis on a technical level, because we have a lot of prisoners of war Russians, mostly soldiers and officers. But I would like to mention that unfortunately Russians mostly taking back their Chechens and sometimes officers, but they don't want to take their soldiers, Russian soldiers, in exchanges. So Russian soldiers in Ukraine, I mean prisoners of war. And I think it should continue, because I mean, we should reach the level when all prisoners of war will return home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then also on the next point, military side, we're hearing that the U.S. and Russia have reestablished high-level military contacts. That's the first time since about 2021, since that was broken up. What kind of impact does that have on negotiations? Is this considered something that will have positive impact for the negotiations with Ukraine?
I think U.S. and Russia both have many interests around the world, not only in Ukraine, but also, as you said, in the Middle East, in many corners of the world. So, and this is two biggest countries, plus China, for sure, which first of all have a nuclear weapon, and then a lot of different kind of weapons. So, and as we know, the agreement between U.S. and Russia expired, or almost expired, so they need to, how to say, to rearrange agreements between them, and I think this, this is not very much influencing Ukrainian-Russian peace talks, but this is a part of the world security, and probably US and Russia should talk directly about their relations.
Mm-hmm. You said that the U.S. and Russia have interests in different parts. Let's talk about also interests, local interests. That's Poland as well. Prime Minister Donald Tusk in Kyiv, also apparently offering more in terms of reconstruction help in the future. Is also coming, I think, by the finance minister. Also ready to transfer MiG aircraft if those are needed. So give us your take from the Prime Minister's visit. What tangible things, what kind of successful things could be gotten out of his visit there?
First of all, we are neighbors, and I hope and I know that we are good neighbors because we have a big aggressive enemy next on our borders. It's Russia. So we have to be together to sustain in this very difficult and deter this big enemy on our borders. So I do believe in Ukrainian and Polish friendship and cooperation. We are neighbors, as I said. A lot of Ukrainians living now in Poland, and I think Poland will be probably one of the most powerful and reliable partners to reconstruct Ukraine. So I do believe in this, and I think we have so many things in common so that we can find not only cultural cooperation but also economic cooperation. So the visit was very I would say it's a good message that we have these high-level visits and talks, and I'm sure that we will help Poland with our knowledge, and Poland probably can help us with a weapon. And they already said that they will provide with a more military package to help Ukraine, and I do believe that we will find a lot of reconstruction cooperation in the future. And even now we're heavily talking to our Polish friends and partners on reconstruction, ongoing reconstruction. Mm-hmm. So I think we have a great future, and nobody will destroy it.
Right, and also coming on the heels of the visit of NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte also in Kyiv. I want to also get some of the latest news we're hearing on Friday. There's been an apparent attack by some kind of firearm on a high-ranking Russian general in Moscow. Now, we don't have so many details yet. Some are saying this is an assassination attempt. We're not clear yet. But anyway, what is, let's say, Ukraine's, what is your, let's say, response to this analysis of what we have? I mean, this would be the fourth, I believe, in my count, attack on a high-ranking general, which resulted in death in a few cases. So what's the Ukrainian response to this?
The Ukrainian response is that in Russia they have so many problems inside their society, inside their elites, inside their military elites, that we can observe for, I think, for past 4 years, around 70 people somehow were dropped from the windows and died. And it was highly ranking officials in the military sector or in the financial sector, the banking sector, and somehow it's so to say it's a tradition in Russia. I think Russia has a lot of internal problems, and I think they will have it more and more because the war is very costly for Russia. The corruption in our Russian army is so high level that, on a general level as well. So I think they will have more and more of these cases because the management, the poor management, corruption in their army, lower social benefits, all money spent on absolutely stupid war, which actually killed around 1 million of Russians, and no outcome of this war, good outcome for Russians. So I think this is just a start of internal problems and internal solutions, as I may say, in Russia. And I think they have more problems inside than outside even.
All right. Well, thanks for giving us all the latest insights from Kyiv. That was Yulia Sirko, Ukrainian MP from the Voice Party. Thank you so much.
Thank you, too.
And thank you for watching. That concludes World Talks, but stay right here on TVP World for more news and commentary. Goodbye.